I feel as if we all have the same universal experience at least once in our life of waking up in the middle of the night and really needing to use the bathroom. But you're afraid to leave the bed because there's this weird, like, subconscious fear that there's some sort of ghoulish figure, some sort of spectral entity that's just, levitating, floating in the ether, that's lurking in the shadows, that's waiting to grab you, that's waiting to come and take you down to the pits of hell with it or something like that. It's really weird, but like, we've all felt it at least once. And you sit there cowering in bed, you're too afraid to actually leave because you think this thing's going to get you. But at some point, you either muster up the courage to actually just get up and go, or the discomfort makes you so uncomfortable that eventually you're just like, I gotta pee. If it gets me, it gets me. And it's like the very second that you conquer that fear, the very second that you just get up out the bed and just go, it's almost as if this phantom just dissipates on its own. It's almost as if you've broken the spell. You're no longer spellbound by it. It's like it no longer has control over you. It disappeared. You know what I mean? You go to the bathroom, you use the bathroom, you come back and you go to bed. And it's all over. It's weird because, like, you created this monster, right? You developed it. You gave power to it. You gave it life. Your emotional conviction, your belief in it is what made it exist in the first place. There was nothing there. Nothing did exist. But you coming to some sort of fear, giving some sort of like grand emotion behind it, caused it to exist. Now there's something there. And the more power that you put behind it, aka the more emotion that you put behind it, the more emotional conviction, the more energy and motion that you put behind it, the more life you give it, the more power it has over you, the more that it can hold you down, the more that it can hold you back, the more you feel as if you can't leave. But you create this phantom. You give this phantom power. You give this phantom life, right? You're creating your own boogeyman, your own monster under the bed. The thing is, you always had the power to leave that bed, but you were too afraid to do it. There was something in your mind that felt as if you had no control. You lost the locus of control, and you were afraid of some outside force coming and affecting you and keeping you there. Your fear was keeping you there. Your fear, your emotional conviction that you put behind this ghoulish figure, this entity in the shadows, you create it. But I'm here to tell you that nothing is holding you down. Nothing is holding you back. You can leave. You can leave. You always have the ability to leave. You always have the ability to depart. You can get out of that bed. You know what I'm saying? You can get away from that monster. You can leave. It's all in your head. It's all in your head. There is no invisible force that is holding you down and keeping you tethered to any person, any place, anything. It's up to you to decide whether or not you want to leave, but you can leave. Stop evading your own power. Stop living in a world in which you do not focus on your own locus of control. You have control over many scenarios in your life, many situations in your life. You may not control everything, but you control a lot of things. You control more things than you think you do. But it all hinges on your belief. You aren't trapped unless you believe you are trapped. You aren't held back unless you believe you're held back. Nothing can hold you back unless you let it. So stop believing in it. Stop allowing these things to hold you back. Stop allowing these things to make you feel as if you can't leave, because you can. You aren't trapped unless you believe you're trapped. We always have this idea, we always have this feeling as if we're trapped in our dead-end job, that we're trapped in our toxic relationship, that we're trapped at our parents' house, we're trapped at our hometown. Something is keeping us there. Something is holding us down. Some invisible force outside of our control is keeping us from being able to get up and leave and change our lives. We believe that we're stuck inside these negative cycles and these negative habits, that we can't quit smoking, that we can't quit drinking, that we can't quit seeing these people that we're not supposed to see anymore, that we can't leave this situation that we know isn't good for us, that we can't leave this place that is not suitable for our growth. We believe we can't evolve. We believe we can't move past a certain thing, but we can. We can. Our limitations and our capabilities are all up to us. It's all in here. It's all in your head. You're as limited as you believe you are, and you're as capable as you believe you are. You can leave. There are no invisible strings that are holding you down and keeping you tethered in place. There's no spider web that you're wrapped into. You can leave at any moment. You can leave your job. You can leave that dead-end job. Stop feeding that monster. Stop giving it power. Stop giving it life. Don't give it domain over you. It doesn't exist unless you believe in it. And I understand why we have this as a defense mechanism. Back in our hunter-gatherer days, you always had to be on alert. So there was always this future perceived threat of the lions and tigers and bears, the beasts of the wild that were out there. We were always having to look over our shoulder and worry about the next oncoming threat. You always had to keep your head on the swivel, because at any moment a lion or a tiger or a bear could attack you. Something out there in the nature, in the wild, it could attack you. But man is civilized now, right? Man is no longer in the wild. We are no longer amongst the beasts. So what do? We construct beasts within our heads. We construct monsters within our heads. We construct this fear of the perceived threat of the unknown, the future. The future is unknown, so of course we're afraid of it. So we come up with these ideas, these fears of these monsters, and these monsters are fears of failure, fears of misfortune, fears of things going wrong, fears of, every worst case scenario. We develop this anxiety, we develop this negative momentum in which we keep ourselves held back. We feel as if there's these invisible strings that are tying us down and holding us down. We no longer fear some lion jumping out of the bush and holding us down. We fear circumstances holding us down. These are no longer beasts of physical nature. These are beasts of mental nature, of emotional nature that we're afraid of. And the fear that we have of them is what keeps them alive. The emotional conviction that we put behind it is what feeds it. The same way that we would remain paralyzed in fear as if we heard rustling in the bushes because we knew that was an incoming threat of a possible lion or a tiger or a bear, we remain paralyzed in fear of the oncoming threat of the unknown, the oncoming threat of the future. The thing is, we all have an emergency route, right? We all have an escape route. We all have our ejection button. We all have that thing that we're able to go back to if we really needed to in an emergency. But a lot of us are too afraid to leave. We're too afraid to even take the chance to go anywhere or try to do something different or try to change our lives because we're so used to what we're used to. We're afraid to change the cycle. We're afraid to try something new. We're afraid to leave because what happens if we leave and we fail? What happens if we leave and it doesn't go right? Well, if you failed, you just go back to what you're used to. You already know how that works. You know what your hometown is like. You know what that relationship's like. You know what that job is like. You just go back to it. But the risk, right? The risk of going out and trying something new, the risk of going out and doing something different and succeeding. Some of us are afraid of success. Some of us are afraid of actually having things go well. We're afraid to change. We're afraid of evolution. So we allow ourselves to believe that this monster, this invisible force is holding us down and keeping us down. But it's really us. It's really us. It's really us giving power to this thing that's holding us down. This invisible force, this phantom, this monster under the bed. Stop feeding your monsters. Stop giving them power. Stop giving them life. Roll the dice. Take that chance. If everything falls down, you just go back to the scraps that you're used to. You know what I'm saying? If everything fails, you just go back to the same situation that you was in. But what if you actually succeed? What if you actually win? What if you actually change? What if you actually evolve? What if it works? You'll have a better life. You'll have a better life and you'll be happier. You'll be more fulfilled. So leave. Go on ahead, leave. Get out of your bed. Isn't it worth taking the chance? Isn't it worth taking the risk? Isn't it worth winning it all? We're taking back our power. We're taking back our control. You know what I'm saying? Emotion is energy in motion. We're going to change that energy in motion into a positive one. If anything, convert it. Exercise the demon. Turn it into an angel. You know what I'm saying? Turn that boogeyman, turn that phantom into something that's good for you. Make it something that's watching over you. Make it into a guardian angel. You have power over that. You have power over what you believe is out there that's either for you or against you. Adjust the way that you feel. Adjust the way that you think. You don't have to be bound by it. You are no longer spellbound. You are free. You are free to go. The thing is, once you conquered that fear the first time, right? Once you got out of bed the first time and the phantom didn't get you, it always gives you this memory, this reminder subconsciously of like, well, it didn't get me last time, so next time I'm feeling that fear, I could leap again. You know what I'm saying? If next time I'm feeling froggy, I could leap again. The next time I feel like I'm in that bed and this thing is going to get me, I know it's not going to get me because it didn't get me last time. So I'm going to get up faster next time and go to the bathroom. And over time, it's not like the fear disappears. It's not like the fear goes away. but you know how to conquer it. You know how to get past it. You're able to be like, you know what? I know that I'm feeling this. I know that this fear is here, but I gotta pee. And if that thing gonna get me, it's gonna get me. I'm just gonna get up. It no longer bothers you. Once you conquer the fear of leaving, once you actually decide, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave my situation, I'm gonna leave my scenario. You develop this muscle, right? You get this muscle that next time you're gonna have to practice it, it's easier. The next time that you're gonna have to leave, the next time that you're like, man, I feel like I gotta go, I'm too uncomfortable, whatever, I gotta dip. It gets easier because you know you can leave. You have the knowledge that you can leave. You have the power. You have the locus of control. You have the idea that I can determine my fate. I can decide that I can go whenever I want to go. I don't got to stay here. I don't got to be stuck. I'm not stuck. I'm not stuck. I'm not tethered. I'm not trapped. I'm not held down. I'm not held back. Ain't nothing holding me back. I am free. I can leave. I can leave whenever I feel like it. I am no longer trapped mentally. I am no longer trapped emotionally. I'm no longer trapped spiritually. I can leave. I can leave whenever I feel like it. And that is a wonderful feeling, to have that knowledge, to know that to your core, to truly understand that and believe that. Like, I can leave whenever I feel like it. You got to have that in your life. You got to know that you have that control. You got to know that you have power over that monster. You know what I'm saying? Those lions and tigers and bears that are in your mind, you have domain over them. You are the beast master. You know, you can control yourself. You can control your situation. You can leave. So if you were ever looking for a sign, if you were looking for a sign from the universe, just something to let you know, just something to give you permission, I'm that sign. You can leave. You can leave. So leave. Take back control over your life. Kill off those monsters. Let them dissipate. Let them disappear into the ether. Take their power away from them. Regain your own power. You have domain over yourself. You have control over yourself. You are in control. But hey, that's all I really wanted to say to y'all today. I really appreciate you for coming through and listening to this message. You know, I've been sick for like the past week, so I'm feeling a lot better. I don't know if you can hear the stuffiness in my voice, but you know, I've been under the weather for the past week, but I had a nice, happy holiday season. I hope you had a nice, happy holiday season. I hope nobody else got sick like I got sick, because it was a bummer. But you know, I'm here. I'm alive and well and kicking, baby. Here to give you all these messages that I love to do. I love doing this for y'all, and you know, I love doing it for me too. It's very, very cathartic. It's a great release. But I hope you enjoyed the message. I hope you resonated with it. I hope you understand that you can leave. But you know, I got to tell you, as usual, I truly appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, because realistically, you could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And I appreciate that. So much love, and I hope to see you in the next one. All right, peace.